And we are live. Hello, Nuno. How are you?
I'm good. Good. And you?
Very good. I'm Fernanda Nis, and I'm here with Nuno today again. We are both teachers at DeRose Meditation, and we're going to continue our topic from last week, but with a slightly different point of view from last week. I would say we are going to continue from the point where we stopped last week. So, July is a very special moment for us because it's one of the months we have our detox twice a year, and one of them is in July. So, we're going to talk about it today, but today we're going to talk a little bit more about the emotions related to the detox. You want to start, Nono?
I can start, and I will start with when I invite someone to do a detox. People usually say, I'm not sure if I can. So that means there's an emotion there that is kind of holding the decision, right? Because just thinking about changing the nutrition or any kind of change, people might get uncomfortable, the fear of the unknown, and that is one of the parts of our emotional challenge for a detox. So it happens immediately when you think about detox as a challenge. Maybe yes, maybe not. I'm not sure. All those questions, they are just reflecting your emotions. So it starts right in the beginning.
Good, very good. You know that always when we talk about detox, automatically we think about our nutrition, what foods we're going to ingest. But in our case, our view, our point of view of this week, it's way more comprehensive than that. And we also do some emotional detox. And this is going to be the topic because even though whatever you eat is very important, it's not the only thing, it's not the only important thing. So during this week, we are going to observe a little bit better our emotions, our reactions, why we eat what we eat, why we choose what we choose. And this is not just about food, it's way much more about our emotions. So I'm gonna give you a few examples, and if you wanna after that just add your examples, that would be amazing as well. So for example, during the detox week, the same way we do with food, that we do the detox to give us ideas or to show us how the ideal behavior in nutrition should be, we try to do the same thing with our emotional detox, if I can call this way. So one of the examples, something that I really like, is the no complaints day, that we try in this day not to complain about anything. And then we notice that a lot of times we are just complaining because we are used to that. So I'm going to complain about my neighbor, I'm going to complain about the weather, I'm going to complain about my work or the traffic. And if you pay attention to that, instead of complaining, you can like look the glass half full instead of half empty. It's not the toxic positivity, but just to stop and think, should I really be complaining about that, or I'm just complaining because I'm used to that? So I really like this moment to pay attention, pay special attention to my thoughts and to my complaints, because we don't notice how much we complain, I would say per hour, maybe. So I think this is a really good challenge that we do in our week. And something else, before I give you the opportunity to share your examples, I noticed that my case, Fernanda, I eat when I'm bored. So I'm in the airport, the flight is delayed, I don't have anything to do. Why not? Let's eat something good to help time pass better. But there are a few people that can eat because they are sad. I'm feeling quite sad. Maybe I'm going to have a chocolate or some treat or some sweet, because we know when we eat those things, we have this fast happiness response in our body, like these happiness hormones. With our body just release them. They are really fast, they work fast. So I'm sad, I eat a chocolate, I feel good. It's so easy to create an automatic reflex about that. I'm sad, I eat something good, I feel good, then I'm sad, and it's like a vicious circle. It's also something to pay attention during this week. Do you do that? So we're going to pay attention. And if you want to go one layer deeper, instead of just thinking, okay, how can I replace it? By listening to a song, by calling a friend, or reading a book, doing something else that makes you happy. So this is another layer. You want to give us a few examples, Nuno?
Yeah, I think in as a continuation of what you just said, um, we can also be a victim of what's available. Not during
Mm-hmm.
the detox week, but sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we would have the time to plan our meals, even if you don't cook. Have this planning and be more mindful, and we think, then I'll decide what to eat, and then you grab something. It was the only thing available. Okay, and so we
Mm-hmm.
just find excuses over excuses of lowering the quality of your nutrition and blaming the situation. Oh, I'm the victim of what's available. Okay, and when you are at detox week, you cannot do that. You're gonna eat bananas for the rest of your week, and I think we by changing that, you say, oh, this will be the moment that we'll stop in a gas station and grab something, but it takes just 2 minutes more to be home and to prepare my meal. Okay. Otherwise, that will be the easy thing to do is just stop at a gas station, grab something available. And there's also a very interesting thing about the amount of excuses that we give to ourselves regarding food.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of reinforce what you just said, finding reasons, finding excuses, finding it's convenient, and
The lack
the
of time.
lack of time. Oh, it's ready. I'm gonna, and then you find something that has a nice label saying, "Oh, high in protein." Yeah, but it needs to be a little bit more mindful. Okay, and that reflects a lot about your emotions and even your relation with food itself, with the subject, which is very, very emotional. Okay, and I think we there are times that nutrition is emotional. A birthday party. Okay,
Yeah.
for example, it's a moment to hang out with family, with friends, and usually you are on a table with your friends sharing a meal. That's okay. Okay, uh, but it cannot be that every day, 7 days a week, so on. Okay, and when you are in a detox week, you question all of that as well, which is
Mhm.
just great. Okay, it has such a great value to yourself, to your self awareness, to your self knowledge that um, it is an experience that we should go for it.
Good. I'm gonna give another topic. I'm gonna put another topic on the table. Of course, during the detox week, one of the objectives is not to use or to use as low as possible social media. And it feels so good. And you see, oh, my day lasts so long. We all know everything that social media does, not in a good way, to our brain, to our behavior, even to our relations. But there are ways of using it. There are ways that you are not over consumption of the social media. But also there's another point of view that I notice people doing this thing. They follow people that makes them feel bad about anything. It can be, for example, if you don't have the chance to travel a lot by any reason, but if you follow someone that travels all the time, it can have a consequence on you where you are going to, okay, I'm going to travel through this person. But it can be the other way. You can feel bad because this person travels a lot and you don't. Or, for example, you are trying to lose weight, then the algorithm is starting to show you a lot of things related to that. And this kind of thing starts to segregate hormones, unhappiness hormones in your body, and you start to feel depressed because of that.
Mhm.
Or I have so many cases like that. So it's maybe the moment to be aware of that as well, even if it's someone you love. But the the posts of that person, by any reason, and you don't owe anyone an explanation, you don't feel good when you see this person's videos or photos or anything. Just go there and silence this person. If you cannot just unfollow, don't, be aware of people you are following and that the algorithm is showing you. At least if you're going to have and to use social media, use that to bring happiness to you, not to bring you those kind of depressing feelings and sensations. I think we all should take a really big consciousness on this topic.
Yeah, I agree. We need to be aware that we build the algorithm. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so if you stop and watch whatever you're watching and you don't like, the algorithm doesn't understand. He understands that you're holding that video longer probably is something that you like, so I'm going to give you more of that.
Yes.
Uh, and having that in mind, you can build an amazing algorithm. You can actually go on social media, learn a lot, and have like great people bringing excellent content and and suggesting even better content, which is great. Okay, but sometimes I know sometimes when you stop in a video and say, "Oh, what is this?" You get curious, and when I see that this is something that I don't want, I think I want this out of my algorithm. Scroll immediately, just to kind of to inform. Forget it. I didn't stop that much time in here. Don't bring me more of this. And by it is a conscious attitude so you can feed your emotions with nice things. I have to
Mm-hmm.
say, I like my algorithm with
Mm-hmm. Me too.
nice food, nice destinations to travel,
Mm-hmm.
excellent music, nice museums. A lot of the neuroscientists that talk about subjects related to our work,
Mm-hmm.
breath work, meditation. What else? That uh,
Pictures, languages,
yeah, and
dogs
also
and cats
dogs
videos.
and cats videos that I like too, and even the LGBTQ movement that I always like to listen to their point of view. That's my
To
algorithm.
learn.
I have no complaints. It takes time. Okay, so and if it's just like the food, if you're usually don't eat in a mindful way, a detox week can be quite challenging. That means your food algorithm is not so good. So it takes time to rearrange. Same with social media, same with your books, same with your friends. Uh, and I do remember that even with the social interactions, we can be smart emotionally speaking. Okay, for example, I have friends that like to have beers and have fun at night, and when they're drunk they are not so interesting. They are interesting between them, not with me that I'm a sober guy. But if I really like to hang out with them, probably I'll go have breakfast or have lunch. Find a moment that that specific habit doesn't interfere in our relationship between that person and me, or those friends and me. And sometimes you just need, instead of going out at night to hang out with them and then you feel kind of an outsider, breakfast, lunch, go for a
Coffee.
coffee, go to a museum if there's something that they like to do, or go to the movies. Find a different way of hanging out if that specific habit is not that comfortable for you. Uh, and it's kind of building an emotional algorithm which is good for you. That's also a
Okay.
very interesting approach to time management and emotional detox.
And it's interesting because when you are in the social media, it seems that time passes really fast because you have a decrease of your consciousness. And when we do meditation, when we do mindfulness, the idea is to increase the notion, the conscience of time. Like it seems that time is expanding. So we can start to understand that this kind of thing like works against your meditation or your mindfulness, and you can use that. And there are a lot of techniques that we have that can help us with our emotional detox, and I'd like to talk about this one. When you are inside the social media world, if you have a flash of lucidity, question, okay, am I here for too long? I'm really free, I'm feeling happy, or this is enough. And usually the answer is going to be no, this is enough. You have way more interesting things to do. And this is an opportunity to use one of our techniques, the awareness of the consciousness, to work against the social media world.
Yeah.
But relating that to the emotional detox, what other technique would you use to help your emotional detox? What other technique from the DeRose method, of course,
Hmm.
would you use or usually you use to your emotional detox?
Okay, we use mostly two, but just going back 1 second,
Mm-hmm.
remember, scrolling in social media is never on your to-do list.
That's true. That's true.
So things that work with our emotional detox, breath work. It is an amazing technique. The correct, not breath work as a whole. We have so many different techniques, but there are a few that really work in that direction. And also relaxation. Relaxation is an amazing moment to rewire your emotions. It's kind of you do a reset, you press the reset button of your body and all the layers of your body in a way that you can give a restart. You know when your laptop is not working well and you just restart and everything starts to work perfectly. Relaxation can be understood as a way to reset. It's a very interesting way of approaching because it settles down your thoughts, your emotions. Relaxing kind of pushes you to that state of serenity, which is ideal for that. Um, of course, you've mentioned meditation is also very good, but it can be very challenging if you're not emotionally stable or if your mind is not focused enough. Meditation can be an unachievable exercise. So that's why I like to give breath work and relaxation as the two big ones that help you, and then we can go to others. But I always also think that specific challenges can be very interesting for your emotional regulation.
Hmm.
The plank position. It is so interesting how a physical position holding a plank for a couple of minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, can bring so much information about your emotions. And it's not because you're not doing nothing, it's that internal dialogue that happens during that long hold that will be useful to improve your emotional management. So, depending on the personality, sometimes you just put yourself in a big challenge and that just transform into something bigger. Would you like to add something else?
I really like this example. I think it was such a good one. You know that when I used to give classes at 7 a.m. in Brazil, I always started the classes with this 10 minutes permanence in the plank position. And every time a new member joined us, they would say, I'm never gonna do that. And usually 1 month later, they were there holding the position for 10 minutes, and it was so amazing. I agree with you. It was such a good example. No, no, thank you. And I'd like to talk a little bit more or in another point of view of the emotions, that is sharing your emotions. Sometimes we feel something and we just keep it for ourselves. But I notice, especially when it's not an emotion that I would like to feel, because we have the tendency, if I'm happy, the first thing is going to be, oh no, no, I'm so happy today. But when you don't have one of those really good feelings, our tendencies, I don't know if it's to hide or to keep it to ourselves, but I notice that sharing that helps a lot. And I'd like to bring this to the table, like try to observe your feelings and bring them to the table in order to grow to grow together, like overcome this feeling with the help of someone else. I'm going to give a silly example, but that just happened and it was amazing. I had a nightmare this previous night, and it was my last dream. I woke up 3 minutes before the alarm, and I was so stressed out because I was dreaming that I was going to lose the flight. And I tried to talk to the company, but I could not find the number of the company. And I was trying to call a taxi, and I could never call a taxi. When I finally got in a taxi, there was this traffic jam, and I couldn't make it. And I woke up frustrated because of that, because probably I was feeling that, and I was segregating all those hormones in my body. So I woke up today and I was so annoyed by this dream that easily I would keep it for myself. And when you said anything, I would say, not, I wouldn't give you the best answer. I was just going to throw something on you. But then I woke up and I said, you know what? I had this dream tonight, and it was so annoying, and I'm so overwhelmed that in the beginning of the day, you were empathetic with me because you knew I didn't have a good night of sleep. So when we share, even things that are not good for us, you have someone to hold your hand and go together. Even though you don't want someone to answer, you're just sharing, and you have someone that you can count on this person. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. And to add something, or to expand that idea, sometimes just finding the word of that emotion, because
Mm,
sometimes we just feel, yeah, I'm yeah.
mm,
But when you need to share, say, oh, today is not a good day for me, and your friend will say, hey, what's up? I'm. Then you complete the sentence. You give a name. Is it sadness? Is it anxiety? Is you miss someone? You miss something? Uh, and you put, by putting a word, that kind of confusing emotion that resides inside of you suddenly has a shape. Okay? And with that, sometimes, oh, sorry to hear, can you want a chocolate? Do you want to
mhm,
talk about it? Do you want to go out for a walk? You find a solution, and also you bond with other people.
mhm,
When we keep it to ourselves, we just stay in our world, and with a huge amount of doubts and questions and maybes, and you don't move. And early in this talk, you've mentioned expansion of awareness of meditation, and I think a lot of the the intention of our work with the DeRose Method is to create expansion, not only of consciousness. I can expand my flexibility. I can expand my circle of friends. I can expand the way that I see food, the way that, and so on. But to expand, I always think about something inside to grow beyond what I think are my limits. And that's what I think about expansion. And when I have the moment, oh, I'm not feeling good, and I'm anxious about this subject. It is concrete. You put a name to that emotion. You put a sense of direction to that emotion, and sometimes you just need that to put it in a shape, and not just, yeah, an emotion that is not good. And so when we do the detox challenges and we create a group of people that are enrolled, You are with like-minded people, open open to share that. I know that a lot of people, they mention, I feel with less energy, but there are also people that feel extremely energized with detox.
Mm-hmm.
So you have both. The both sides are in the same group. They feel great. They feel amazing because it's is their way of processing that. Others, they feel with a lot of challenges, so it can be quite challenging. So depending on the amount of challenge, the way that you feel that is going to be different. But when you go to the group and you write something, oh, I'm tired of eating nuts. That happens, okay? And there will be someone giving a suggestion or giving a different idea or just saying, me too. And that me too is just, ah, oh, what a relief. Not just me. And when you put words into your emotions, it just solidifies a connection, which is so valuable in this experience that I highly recommend. The restrictions are great, the no complaining is great, but sharing, putting your things into words is just pure gold.
I agree. So, we're going to have our detox week. We are going to send you all the information in a few days. But if you're interested, talk to me, talk to Nuno, or talk to Larissa. That we help you, and it's going to be amazing to have you in this journey with us. Thank you, Nuno.
Thank
Thank
you.
you that's watching us, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye. Have a mindful week. Bye.
Yay.